should be live.
Yay.
Okay. I think we should be live officially. That took, I don't know, it took a lot of work. It's always a lot of work, but okay,
Here
here
we
we
are.
wait, hold on. Before we do the intro, let me just double check if anything we can cut this whole section out. I just want to make sure that we're live. I can't wait till we have like some sort of help or moderator who
I
can
know.
just like.
I feel so bad. I wish I could help, but like I'm.
Okay, boom, there we go.
pointless.
You feel bad for who?
I said I feel bad. I wish I could help more, but I'm like pointless with this stuff.
You're not pointless. You're not pointless, and anyone can learn this stuff. It just takes a little bit of patience and just, I don't know, remembering certain stuff. But okay, here we go. I always say boom. So boom, episode 9 of 10 talks. We're finally
Happy Valentine's
here.
Day.
And it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. If you guys can't tell, we have a heart-shaped box. Well, I'm not sure if you could even see it behind the glasses, but we have a heart-shaped box of chocolates on the table.
We're trying to make it look a little cute.
And
oh yeah, and we're not in our tent.
Oh yeah, the biggest thing I have to, the biggest thing you guys probably notice is that we're not in our tent today, and it's because number one, we were already kind of, we talked about this on the last episode where we said we wanted to film ahead of time so that we like had, no, we didn't have to, or we just so that we could take all of Sunday and Saturday and just spend it to ourselves and film ahead of time so we could just like relax these days. But Jesus Christ, I still have like so much, what's it called,
Gas.
not gas, but with heartburn or whatever. And I guess it does cause gas too.
Yeah.
That wet burrito I ate earlier is really fucking me up right now.
Yeah, that was a lot of steak in that.
But
thing.
basically, we wanted to film ahead of time this week. We couldn't do it, and then Rylee was, and then we were just thinking like, okay, we could just film next week. But then I was thinking like, I don't know if I wanted to do 2 episodes in 1 week because I feel like we wouldn't have enough topics to talk about, and also I feel like it'd be just as hard. I feel like it'd be like hell hectic to film 2 things in 1 week, and also I just felt super bad about not being able to, do an episode this week, and also haven't been able to stream in a while. So I was like, I felt like we really had to come through.
Yeah,
today.
I felt the same way too.
Even though it's super late. So huge shout out to every single person who joins today's stream.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
For everyone that
Sorry
listens.
it's so late.
I know, sorry it's so late. It's for everyone that is listening to this after not live or whatever. Basically, we're filming this like at 10:20.
But we have a good reason. We had like a really great weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wait, should I even put my headphones on? These things kind of don't even work. Oh my god, both our cats are having a vicious fight. Shh, hey, get out of there. You guys better not fight next to all my computer shit.
They're actually starting to get along though now.
Yes. Okay. So we made we made the announcement last week that we got a new kitten named Luffy, and Lola absolutely fucking hated him. And
It was really bad at first. I
To
was
be
like
honest,
nervous.
I didn't even think about it, but we talked about it last week. So now it's been official 1 week,
1 week.
and
yeah.
now they're buddies, besties. I feel like that's it. It just took 1 week for them to get used to each other. Well, mostly for Lola to get used to Luffy, but now they're buddy. Hey, get out of here. Am I gonna have to be doing this the whole
I
time?
know.
I thought this might be a little bit cooler to film in here since we can have the cats around us, but these fools are getting into a fight and shit right next to the computer stuff. If the camera falls and something disconnects, oh my god.
I know.
It's their fault.
They don't give a fuck. They knock everything over. We came back home one day and there's trees knocked over.
Yeah, the trees are knocked over. Dude, I have this where we keep our TV, this stand. There's like all these little cars. I have so much packed on this stand, so much shit packed on the stand so the cats can get up there, and all this stuff is moved around. Like, dude, like I don't know what they do when we're not home, but it honestly scares me.
I know. I wish we had cameras in
Oh
here.
shit. God. Oh my. Wait.
Oh wait.
No way. Dude, thank you so much, Prideful Lion. Dude, thank you so
Shout
much,
out to
bro.
Prideful
He
Lion.
just donated $10. He said Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so
Aw,
much,
happy
Prideful Lion, dude.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Happy Valentine's Day to every single person watching the stream and also listening to this later on. But so Luffy, you better chill, dude. Okay. So we said we were gonna pre-film this. We ended up not being able to pre-film it. We both really wanted to do it this week, so we ended up doing it right now. It's super late and it's freezing outside, and on top of it being freezing, it's also really late, so I didn't want to be too like loud for our neighbors. So we
Yeah.
just decided, okay, let's just film this in our living room today. So that's why we have a little scene change. And I don't know what you guys, hopefully you guys like it, but it's kind of hard to get the focus in point because we're sitting at two different levels, and I couldn't put the camera in front of us because I don't have a lens that films like in short of a distance. So we're kind of working a little bit different circumstances, but I feel like it still looks pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's comfy in here.
Yeah, yeah, it is way more comfy in here.
Right?
We got a couch and shit like that. We have a huge announcement to make though. One of the main reasons that we did today's episode is because of a longtime viewer and a longtime viewer and friend. It's this guy named Shaiken. I don't even remember when I first saw his name in the chat, but it just feels like I've already known him for like years or whatever. And also, he's such a fucking cool guy, nicest guy in the world. He came out to LA a while ago, and I think I did 2 streams with him, and it was like a really fun stream and a really fun time. He randomly okay, so today was Valentine's Day. Rylee and I decided to drive up to the snow.
It was so fun and beautiful.
Yeah, it was super beautiful. We live in LA, so it's like you don't really get you don't get all 4 seasons here. You kind of get just one season.
Yeah.
It's either cold or hot, basically.
And when it's cold, it's not super duper cold.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, it
Sometimes
does get freezing.
it does, but it's like whatever, man. It's not snowing.
Yeah, exactly. If it's this cold, I'd rather it be this cold and snowing.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be just fucking cold.
Exactly.
You know, it just feels like a waste.
Give us some fucking scenery.
Oh, oh my god, it feels like I should turn the. No way, dude. Thank you so much, Josh Coates. What the fuck?
Aww.
Thank you so much, Josh Coates. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well.
Happy Valentine's Day, Josh.
Dude, thank you so much, Josh Coates, for the $5. So, we basically decided to drive up to the snow, not too far away from LA. There's a place called Mountain High where a lot of people can go. There's a ski lift. You can go snowboarding and skiing and shit. But we just wanted to go sledding and just like spend some time in the snow, take some pictures, and just like experience some fresh air and just experience the snowy circumstances and stuff like that. And it was actually a lot of fun. And we're probably gonna talk about a little bit more about that later on. But on our drive back, which is like a 2-hour drive, and thank you so much for choosing to drive. You said you only wanted to drive for a little bit so I can roll a joint, but you ended up driving the whole distance.
I know.
But thank you so much for driving the whole distance back. It was like a 2-hour drive, and along that drive, I forgot what I was doing. I was just like chilling, and then all of a sudden, like I just get a notification on my phone. It was like think from Venmo, and I never get Venmo notifications. I was like, what the fuck? And it's $60. It's like boom. It says it's $60 from Zach Shaiken, and he's like, yo, check your Instagram DMs right now. And I was like, what? And I check my Instagram DMs, and he's just like, yo, basically happy Valentine's Day. Like, I wanted to donate $60 so that you and Rylee can get yourselves a nice like bottle of red or white wine and just like chill and talk about how you guys have like grown like in like the past year and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, what a nice guy.
Know,
like
so
literally the sweetest guy ever, super nice guy, like, and that just so thoughtful and also very very considerate. So
he's always been a real one since our first stream. Remember when we got to turn and you were going crazy? And
you're right. I do remember that.
He's like, bro, you should just turn out the stream.
I think a bunch of people were calling me that day saying like, yo, you're too drunk.
Dude, shout out Zach though.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out Zach.
Amazing.
And I'm not a big wine drinker. You are, and I don't even know the name of any bottles of wine. So I was like, I don't know any $50-$60 bottle of wine. And I honestly thought that wine and champagne were 2 different things. I didn't know apparently champagne is wine.
It's a type of wine. I guess. I mean, it is wine. Like you could get it at wine tasting.
Are you sure?
Yes, you get it.
You can get it at wine tasting, but
it's a type of wine. It's champagne. It's bubbly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's bubbly.
Okay. I've never heard anyone called wine champagne.
It's still wine.
Okay, so basically Rylee said that we should get this bottle of.
This is just like.
What's it called?
Clico.
Clico.
Wait, let me see. Bring it over here.
Alright.
Let me.
This is the bottle we got. It's Veuve Clicquot or something like that. It says champagne on it.
Yeah. Brut.
Veuve Clicquot.
Veve.
Or I don't know, dude. I feel bad. Is this like?
Clicquot.
Are we making fun of the French language at this point?
Ariana Grande shouts this out in a song, so that's why I got it.
Are you serious? We got this because of Ariana Grande.
No, I always see this people post it because it's like expensive and it's supposed to be really bomb. So
I'm excited. Should I pop it?
Yeah. Do you know how to pop it?
I don't.
Okay. So
we're gonna figure this out. Should I shake it up?
No.
I thought that's how you do it. You shake it up, go ah.
Haha, no.
I'll squirt it all over you.
Please
where's your white
pop
T-shirt?
Please don't pop me in the eye.
I'll try to be careful. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna pop this. How much?
Wait,
Wait, how much?
Take
Was,
the foil off first.
yeah, I'm looking for the tab. How much was this bottle?
I think it was like $70 originally, and then we got it like for 60.
Okay, so this bottle right here is a $60 bottle of champagne.
70.
70.
It was on sale.
Yeah, it's on sale. It's usually a $70 bottle of champagne, and I don't want you guys thinking that we're out here fucking drinking $70 bottles of champagne every day. This is very
From Zach.
This is 100% from Zach. Very out of the ordinary for us, and I would have never done anything like this if it wasn't for Zach just telling me to do it. And honestly, if Zach had just donated $60 and said like, here you go, bud, I would have just been like, okay, sweet, and just kind of held on to it. But the fact that he was like, I want you to do this with it, I was like, okay, we have to, of course. So
okay, so now what you're gonna do is grab that tab
grab
and
this
twist
part right here, twist. I got this. How do I know it's not gonna explode and spew a bunch of foam
It's
and
not,
shit?
because when you do that, it's not gonna take that knob off. You're gonna have to twist the knob.
What if we get our kittens drunk and fucking child services takes our kittens away
Shut up.
for getting them
That's
drunk?
never gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay, no. You're gonna twist it with your hand. You don't pop it like that. That's only in movies.
That's not only in movies. I could totally pop it.
Okay,
I don't want to.
Don't do it towards me.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to hit the TV. I don't want to hit the TV.
Not towards me. Stop.
Okay, I'm gonna do it this way.
Not towards the cat.
Where I would do it towards the 60-inch TV.
Towards my eye.
It's not gonna hit you in the eye. Just cover your face.
Hell no.
Put your here.
No.
Put the cushion in front of your face. Okay.
Fuck it. Go. Jesus. Just do it already.
Oh, babe, I know 100% this is not gonna hurt you, but I'm fucking hoping that I don't hit the TV right now.
You'd rather my eye go.
No, your eye's not gonna go. Okay, hold on. 3, 2. Oh! Oh, my fucking phone! My phone's covered in champagne. Wait, hold on. Where did the thing go?
Oh my god, babe! It's all over the couch.
I know. Can you grab some paper towels? Oh, no, I'll go grab the paper towels. You stay right there.
You stay right there.
No.
No, you pour it.
It's all over my hands. I did it though. We popped the fucking bottle. Let's go. I don't know where the cork went. I hope we don't have a fucking our TV's not broken. I think it looks fine. We're gonna realize later though once we try to watch something. Oh shit, dude! How did I got some on my socks, on my pants. I didn't spill all of it. If I had done it with my hand, I would have spilled the same amount. I'm pretty sure. Okay, here we go. Can we move these chocolates temporarily? All right, here we go. We're pouring up that clico, as Ariana would say. Right? Oh shit! God damn it! I'm dropping everything. This is terrible.
Okay.
Am I pouring this correctly?
Yeah. A little too bubbly, babe. It's all bubbles.
Yeah, what the fuck? They ripped this off. It's all bubbles in here.
Let me pour it.
Oh, I can't even.
Pour yours.
I don't know how to pour wine.
Let's
I mean
see,
champagne
let's
apparently.
do a pour test. Maybe it's just the bottle.
Yeah, look how quickly my bubbles are going down though. Dude, my socks are wet. Now I want to take my sock off. Oh no, you're cheating. You're doing separate pours. I did it all one go.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I did all one go pour.
Take it slow. Honey.
Honey. Fill that shit. I'm trying to chug it. No, I'm kidding.
Look at
I don't even know if it's gonna be good. Usually.
I should be a bartender. What's good?
Wow, yours did come out way better. You did say you wanted to be a bartender, but I said I don't want you to. Cause you could, dude. If you were a bartender, there's gonna be guys all day and night going, "What's up, lady?
No.
Let me get your digits. What you doing after work?" Blah 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 blah.
Cheers. Shout out Zach Shaiken.
Okay, so we have a lot to cheers to.
Yes, we do.
To 1 year, one happy, awesome, amazing, spectacular. Nothing could be better year. And to our 1 year anniversary, and also happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Shout out to Zach Shaiken and the rest of Harmonious gang.
Shout out to everybody.
Let's try this clico.
Oh!
That's good. Ooh, it's super bubbly.
I like it.
I
am tasting the stars.
The stars. I already had what's it called? What's it called when you like
Heartburn.
I already had heartburn and acid reflux, and this is like multiplying it by 10. But fuck it, whatever. The people, you gotta pay the price to get fucked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you? Is this your first time trying it?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Is it just me, or did someone bring this to the office before, to the warehouse?
I think they did, and I was like, "Who is drinking this?" Remember?
I think I tried it last time too, and I liked it. But we didn't get our own bottle. We didn't get to drink this much, so. Will this get us drunk? How much alcohol is in this?
Probably.
Oh, 12% alcohol. I think that'll be pretty good. Okay, so.
Okay, so should we talk about our weekend?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, when I honestly don't specifically remember what day I asked you to be my girlfriend, but I think we settled on the fact that it was the day before Valentine's Day. We both were just like, I think that sounds right? So we were just like, okay.
It was because it was the day before Valentine's Day. I flew out, and you picked me up from the airport, and your sister had called you. And she was like, "Oh, who are you with?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm picking up my friend from the airport."
Oh.
And then you like looked at me and like hella started smiling. And then when we got home, like later that night, you're like, "I feel weird calling you my friend in front of my sister."
I remember that. And then I was like, "So."
Oh, so what do you mean?
Oh my god. It's so funny because usually like in like movies and like in like shit like series and stuff, it's always the girl who's like, "So what are we?" Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's always the girl thing to be like, "What are we?" And I was the one who was like, "So what are we?" Like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend, or
That's the way
do you
it
just
should
like
be.
coming to my house or to my
No.
apartment that I live in fucking Chinatown where I live with my fucking roommate
I
friend?
did. We had good times.
Yeah, those were some good times. So. Anyway, so we settled on the fact that I think I asked her to be my girlfriend on the day before Valentine's Day.
Forget.
On Valentine's Day, I took Rylee to this place. Instead of Korean barbecue, where like they just bring you the meat and you cook it for yourself in front of you on a griddle, like in the middle of the table. We went to this place called Gyukaku, and it's like Japanese barbecue. And I don't know the difference between Korean and Japanese barbecue. They both seem extremely similar to me, like almost the same, but. This Japanese barbecue place is really fucking good. It is slightly expensive, so I've only been there I think like 3 times in my life, but it's really freaking good. And I was like, I really want to take you there, so we went there. We got the Valentine's Day special or something like that. It was super delicious.
It was so bomb.
And we wanted to do the same thing again this year. We wanted to go back to the same restaurant, but last year when we went, there was no COVID. Wasn't that serious, or was that even before COVID?
No, it was way before COVID.
That was when people were talking about it on the news, but there was no rules against anything.
Everybody's like, I think it's like it's not gonna come to us. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
Here.
So last year, everything was fine. This year, we tried to go to the restaurant and they're closed. They do there's no it's only like outdoor dining, but it's weird because this is the type of place you're supposed to go where they have a grill in the middle of the table, but now it's turned into a thing where you're just supposed to go sit outside of it or sit outside of the restaurant and they'll bring the food to you. And Rylee and I went, and dude, it was number one, it was super freaking windy and it was freezing, and they had no heaters outside, and it was like we stood outside for like 2 minutes and we were like, dude, like. Even if they were to bring us food, our food's gonna get ice cold within 5 minutes.
Meat
like,
gets cold so fast.
Especially that Korean barbecue meat is like thinly sliced, so it gets
Yeah.
super fucking cold really quick.
I was like, this place is so bougie, and it's
They can't like put heaters outside.
that's so rare.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
they probably didn't want the rush on Valentine's Day.
Maybe you're right.
Because they probably knew.
But that
when
doesn't
we
make-
went, there was hella people in there.
That doesn't make sense though, because a lot of restaurants are struggling right now. Would want the extra.
But where we went,
extra
there was hella
customers.
people.
That's true. So, anyways, Rylee and I went to this place called Yukaku. Like I said, the circumstances were not ideal, so we were just like, okay.
Yeah, we're like, this is not worth it.
Yeah, this is not worth it. And I was just telling Rylee, like, okay, let's look up another restaurant. And like I said, it's our anniversary, so like I was like, we have to find something good. And I already felt like an asshole because I thought this was the plan, and it didn't work out. And I was like, okay, now we're fucked because it's our anniversary and we have nothing planned.
Which is like not even.
I felt like an asshole. I was like, God damn it. I was like,
we're both the same with that shit though. Like we're so chill and easygoing with finding something else.
You
to
think
do.
so?
I think so.
Okay,
right?
yeah, it worked out pretty chill. So that I asked Rylee's really good at finding places to eat, so I was like, Rylee, let's find another restaurant.
I'm a Yelp queen.
Yeah, you are. You don't do you leave like bad Yelp reviews on people though? Like these fucking fuckers. Blah 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 blah. blah. I hate this
no,
person.
I've only left good reviews.
That's cap.
I'm serious. I've only left like one review, and it was for my eyebrow girl in San Diego because she was amazing.
I leave good reviews. I only left one review.
I was like, Alma changed my eyebrows forever.
Did she pay you, or did she give you some sort of discount?
No, she was just like, can you Yelp me if you want. She really did change my eyebrows.
You're hyped on it. You can take. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah. Anyway, I do check Yelp all the time. So I was like, fuck it, let's look in different areas, like nice areas, to find like a steakhouse or something.
And if you guys have heard that Trippie Redd song,
Topanga.
I'm a Topanga. Topanga. Like, okay, so we went to Topanga Canyon, and if I don't know how much, I feel like a lot of people don't know too much about Topanga Canyon. Topanga Canyon is basically a road that takes you from the valley side of California, or like I guess you could call Los Angeles, but it's not really Los Angeles. But this area that we live in next to Los Angeles, there's an area called the Valley. And then once you get towards the Topanga area, the valley really gets separated by a giant mountain between the ocean. So there's the ocean, giant mountain, and then the valley. So there's all these different roads. There's Coldwater, there's Sepulveda, there's Woodman. I think Woodman. There's like all these different roads that take you over the mountain to the other side. And Topanga is actually the one that takes you straight from the valley, like right to the ocean. But along that road is all these like mansions, nice houses. It's a lot of older. It's not new mansions. It's like, you know, older houses, but it's like a lot of people with like old money who have had money, you know, in their family for a long time, like usually live there. And there's also a lot of nice restaurants. And you found this place called the Seventh Inn or something like that.
Yeah, the Seventh Inn.
Or the Inn of the Seventh. What was it called?
Inn of the Seventh
Veil.
I don't fucking.
It sounded like a rock band.
It was something crazy, but it was so beautiful in there.
It was super
looked
nice.
Like a Cinderella story.
Yeah, it was honestly
like,
super nice.
It was so pretty.
And I don't know, I guess it was just like a really delicious dinner.
They had a Valentine's Day special. So
yeah, it had
it
a
was
Valentine's
like
Day special. It was very expensive.
It was like a 5-course meal.
Was it 5 course? It was 3.
No, 5.
Oh yeah, because we had the soup.
Yeah.
And the little butter thing. They gave us the thing with the nice restaurants is like they'll bring you stuff and you're just like, okay, thank you. You don't know what it is. And as soon as we sat down, they brought us these like 2 little cylinder things that it's like, it kind of looks like a crust and then just butter in the inside of it. And I was like telling Rylee, I was like, we didn't order that, and I don't think that it doesn't say anything about that on the menu, on the prefix menu. I was like, what is that? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, should we eat it? And then like I cut mine in half and just took a bite. And like I just got this like, it just tastes like butter, like really melty butter. And I was like, that tastes kind of good. But butter does taste good regardless. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, you should try it. And then you tried it and you're like, I think it is butter.
Like, I think it's just garlic butter.
And then I was like, and then we were like confused. We were like, oh shit, was this supposed to be meant for toast or something? And then
but we didn't get bread, so
exactly.
I think you were supposed to eat it.
It was, yeah, I don't know what the hell it was, but it was so delicious. And then,
anyways, but to go back, they tricked this place out like with lights everywhere.
It was super nice.
You
said that people go there to get married.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a wedding venue, I guess.
Yeah,
and there was
venue.
like a bunch of fountains with like rose petals everywhere. It was like super Valentine's Day romantic. Everybody had like their own little corner.
What's interesting about that place?
It was just super.
It was super
pretty.
nice. Like I'm used to restaurants in LA where everything's kind of like almost like an apartment, and then they just like fix, you know, like. It's kind of just like a cube, and then they'll put different designs in this little cube. That's basically what every restaurant is, but that one was like 100% unique. You know what I mean?
It was
it's
like homey. Like it felt like
a mansion homey. Like I've never been to a home like that, but
exactly. Like it just felt like comforting, but not like
super chill.
Like cookie cutter. It felt like
exactly, not cookie
DIY.
Cutter. Exactly. Yeah.
In a way, you know.
It felt. I don't know. It was super nice.
They did a good job.
Exactly.
Decorating.
Rylee and I, we got these different dishes or whatever. Rylee and I chose the same dish, which was filet mignon. It's a steak. Rylee got medium well, right?
Medium.
Or medium. And then I always get medium rare or like or medium well or like well done or something like that. And like I've always wanted to like, you know, try the idea of rare because I always hear people say like, oh, it's the best, like blah blah, rare is fire. And then we went there, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try rare. And I told the dude rare. And I think when we realized that if you go to a certain restaurant like Denny's and you say rare, they bring you rare, which is like, it's kind of, you know, pretty bloody, but there's still like some cooked on it. Apparently at high class restaurants, there's a thing called blue rare, where it's literally like fucking just It's just meat you just take out of your refrigerator, go and fucking give it to the customer. And bro, like I took the first bite I took, I was like, oh wow, that's pretty good. And then I started getting this like very chewy sensation. And then I was like, let me cut my shit in half. I fucking cut it in half and I looked at it and I was just like,
Yeah,
whoa. I was like, this is 100% raw.
Well, when he came out and he said rare, the first thing I was like, I looked at Yuri and I was like, you got rare? Because he hates bloody meat. So I don't know why you even try to do it, because you always hate bloody meat.
I don't hate bloody meat. I like medium rare because it's like that little nice amount of blood.
You get tripped out because I've made you steak before that was way more on the bloody side and you weren't fucking with it.
Bro, dude, all I know is that like the restaurant that we were in, they had such super dim lighting that you could barely even see like what color steak was. But I know that if we were in this lighting and if I cut my steak in half and looked at it, I would have been like, no. I would have been like, yo, excuse me, can you I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I ordered the wrong thing. I did not think I could like I thought I'd be able to eat this, but I can't. Like, but the fact that it was such dim lighting, and I didn't want to like be a whole fucking like, oh, let me get another steak or whatever. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna eat this shit. It was less enjoyable, I have to say. It wasn't more enjoyable. It was less enjoyable. It's so chewy.
Yeah, you gotta go medium.
I could feel it like stringing apart. Like it was like, oh my god.
I can't do it. I can't do the blood.
Yeah, but it was a cool time.
Like I like a little blood for the juice, but it sounds gross to say.
I do. The blood is the best part.
But I don't like it overly, like where I'm like, damn, like I'm a carnivore, like I'm really eating.
Dude, every video I've seen of Gordon Ramsay and other like high class chefs cooking, whenever you go to restaurants, babe, the sauce that they put on the steak is the leftover blood. That's what they do. They keep the blood from the thing and they pour it on top.
Oh, I know.
The blood is like the flavor, the juices or whatever.
That's crazy.
But another funny thing that happened is I've had friends who worked who worked as like valet. Shout out to Lola. Our cats might be coming in and out of this fucking stream, but I've had friends who've worked as valet drivers, and they've told me before the struggle of like needing tips and like some people tipping, some people not tipping, and like so we'd had this restaurant you have to do valet. So as soon as we finished our dinner and everything, I grabbed my ticket. And I told Rylee, I was like, hey, I want to tip the valet guy. And Riley's like, oh, we don't have to. We just tipped the the restaurant like this amount of money.
I said we could tip the valet.
Yeah, but then later on you're like, okay, whatever, let's tip him. So I was like, yo, can I get $5 cash, whatever. So he gave me $5 cash. The valet first dude comes up, he's like, yo, can I get your keys? I'm like, okay. I hand him $5 with the ticket, thinking he'd be like, okay, for sure, thank you. You know what I mean? Like walks away. And then like he tells the other guy to come or whatever. The other guy brings me the car. As we walk in, I'm about to like get in the car and drive away. He's like, oh, it's $8. And I was just like, I didn't want to be like, I just gave the other guy $5. I was like, okay, whatever. Let's grab another $8. Then Riley didn't have $8. She had only 2 5. So we give this guy $10 too. And I was just like,
bruh,
did we just get swindled like by the fucking valet drivers? I was trying to be nice, and now we're fucking paying like whatever they deserve.
Like,
it was a $15 tip. It's fine.
Yuri was like, it's hard times. They need tips, and I was like, yeah, I'm paying them with my tips.
Yeah, I know. Literally the tips you got from your job. Fucking the shit fucking transfers over.
Exactly. So I was like, fucking pay it forward.
Yeah, exactly.
I was feeling whatever.
Yeah, that was our Saturday night, and then
they
today
deserved it.
Exactly.
It was a hard night for them,
dude.
probably.
Like, and that's what I'm saying
and
is like,
probably so many people did not tip them, so they were probably.
I disagree. When you go to restaurants like that, they get tipped for sure.
Probably, but the girl at Denny's today, I was like, she probably appreciated our tip.
That's for
cash,
sure.
You know?
But the thing is, like, if you go to Denny's, you expect
the difference.
You expect a certain type of service because you know how much they're getting paid. But when you go there, like, the type of service that even the valet drivers like provide to you, like, we're no one special. Like, we like almost like we can probably do this dinner once or twice a year, and they treat us like we do it every day.
But a lot of rich people
like,
don't tip well.
Sometimes
they do, but then sometimes I know a lot of people who.
Like,
weird.
I don't know. When I was younger, like when I was like 18 and 19, I used to never tip. I used to always think like, no, like I already paid for the food. Like, I don't want to tip, blah blah.
All the time still.
But then like people taught me that like, yo, dude, like the more you pay is the more you tip. So I kind of have a feeling that a lot of people that go to that restaurant, just depending on how much everything costs, like I'm pretty sure everyone leaves at least a $10
well,
tip.
yeah, for your waiter and stuff, but for the valets, some people are like,
yeah.
Whatever.
But the $8 you have to pay. But probably most of those people are like
working in the hair industry. Like I worked in San Diego. and we didn't get tipped out by like stylists, but we would get tips by clients if they decided to tip us. I would get like $5 a week maybe if I was lucky.
Really?
Because none of them would tip us.
You know,
and that they like we worked in a place where there was a lot of high end clients.
It's still
know?
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like they would tip the stylist, but they wouldn't tip us.
I was gonna say,
anything.
do you think you're getting fucked over by
Fuck.
like someone else taking the tips?
No.
Because they give tips
I mean,
for sure.
Well, yeah, but it's like I understand. That's just how it is.
But it's cool how at your new place they actually tip out everyone.
Yeah, which I really appreciate, but I get it. Everybody has families too, you know. They got mouths to feed.
Yeah, exactly. And like like you were saying, like paid forward, like where I just feel like money falls in your lap, and like for you to be like, oh, now that this money's in my lap, I'm gonna keep it all to myself. It's like it's kind of like, okay, money. The way, oh, the way I always look at it is like as soon as like I receive or I get some sort of amount of money that I didn't expect to have, like my immediate thing in my mind is like, oh, I want to give like some to my mom, or I want to give some to my sisters. I want to like do, you know, like do something like,
and I love that
to do something whatever, because I feel like
so sweet.
it's not even like guilt or whatever, but I just know that like
they'll appreciate it.
it's yeah, not even that they appreciate it, but I don't want to like have that feeling of like I'm just gonna conserve and keep and put into a bank whatever enters my fingers. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird.
No,
like
it's
I don't know.
They got you when you need it, and you got them when you got it. You know. It's
exactly.
It's just how family is, and I felt the same way with my siblings. Like,
you know what's funny? I wasn't even thinking about bringing this up, but Zach said like buy yourselves a bottle and like talk about like the growth and like all this, you know, different stuff that has gone on the past year. And one thing that I haven't really thought about that I am kind of proud about like I remember when I first moved out, when I went to Josh's house, or like when I moved in with my roommate. Like I didn't always have to ask my parents for money, but I did, like, you know, every now and then like have to be like, yo, can I borrow $50? Can I borrow $100? And I'll pay you guys back. And I would always pay my parents back, but I would have to like be borrowing money from my parents to like be able to pay for stuff and like pay my bills and shit. And then like I already had like 2 phone calls with my dad where my dad like calls me and he's like, hey Yuri, like how's it going? How's everything going? How like at the house? How's Rylee? Blah blah. I'm like, it's fine. He's like, how's your like finances? Like, do you need any money? Like, are you able to pay your bills and shit? And I'm like, yeah, like everything's fine. Like I'm able to like save a little bit of money and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, like it's weird. Like I used to never be able to say that shit. Like now I'm actually be able to be like, nah, I'm okay. Like you don't have to like give me any money. Like it's fine. It's like weird.
I know.
And I'm like pretty hyped about that.
It's crazy. I feel the same way too.
It's weird.
Getting more independent.
Yeah, exactly. Getting more independent. Like, it's very strange. Dude, one thing that I told you that I wanted to talk about on this 10 Talks is this story about me having to pass a drug test. And I wish the thing is I don't, at this point we're only 9 episodes in, but it feels like we've talked so much that I don't remember if I talked about this already.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You would have remembered, right? Okay,
yes.
okay. So I want to talk about this. I feel like I've talked so much about my job at Starline Tours as a salesman that I would have brought this up already.
Yeah, but you didn't talk about this.
I didn't talk about this? Okay. So this is a really funny story. Okay, so I used to work at have you ever had to take a drug test?
Nope.
For a job?
Nope.
Really? They don't care at hair salons?
No, you would think they would. Like,
I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Really?
I just
you would want somebody lit doing your hair?
I wouldn't want someone. I'm not saying I would want someone lit doing my hair. I'm just saying like I feel like almost every job where
a lot of hairstylists smoke weed.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
Right?
For some, that does not surprise me.
So.
But I just that's not the only job. What other? Actually, I think that might be the only job I've ever had to get drug tested for. Was that Starline job, which is so weird because it's like it's not that weird of a. It's like we're not doing anything serious. I'm literally selling tours.
I didn't even get drug tested at the daycare I worked at, but I wasn't smoking weed back then. I wasn't, but I never got drug tested for it.
You probably didn't look cool enough to get drug tested. They're probably like, she looks lame.
Dang it. I wasn't smoking weed, so.
Alright. This is kind of like a little bit of a cringe and nasty story. Okay, so listen to this. I was working as a dispatcher, and then I forgot what happened, but basically like something happened in the company where they basically told me like, hey, sorry, like these changes are happening. we're moving to a different location and we're like not taking you with this type shit or whatever. And I was like, okay, like they basically laid me off. And then like I lost that job, and I was like, fuck, like what job should I get? And then at that time I was working there for a year, and the previous job I was working for a year, it was like both office jobs. So I really wanted a job where I like talked to people and actually like interacted with people and shit. So I went to go. My friend Alan was already working at Starline. He's like, bro, like you should apply over here. Like it's pretty chill. You can make it's like commission based, so you can make more money depending on how hard you work and shit. So I was like, okay. I went over there, basically passed the interview, and they said like you have to go get drug tested. And then I was like, oh fuck, like and I asked Alan. I was like, yo, Alan, how'd you do the freaking the drug test, because I know he smokes weed like crazy. And then he's like, oh dude, he's like, it's easy. He's like, all you have to do is get a non-lubricated condom. He's like, get your homie, or get, basically he said like get some clean pee, put it into a non-lubricated condom, tie the non-lubricated condom off, duct tape it to the inside of your thigh.
Wait,
so,
I feel like this was not the story you were telling me about.
no, it'll go on. It'll get to the point that you heard earlier.
Okay.
You duct tape it to your thigh so that you keep it the same temperature as your body. Because one thing they pay attention to is what temperature the piss is that you give to them or whatever. So you keep a duct tape to you so it keeps the same temperature. And then he basically told me that they can't watch you do the test. You have to go to your own bathroom and just do it yourself. So he said that he went inside the bathroom, had a little needle, poked the hole in the condom, and squirted whatever was in the condom into a cup and gave them the cup, and then he passed the drug test. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. One problem is all my fucking friends smoke weed. I didn't have one friend that did not smoke weed, so I was like, oh fuck, like I'm in trouble. And and then I was scrolling through my Instagram. I was literally scrolling through my Instagram, like looking for one of my friends that did not smoke weed that was close enough to be like, hey, can I have some piss or whatever. So I hit up I started scrolling through my Instagram, and then I remembered that I'm still following my friend Vova that I've known since second grade. I've known him like my whole life. Like I've known my whole life basically since like elementary school. And I remembered that Volva was in firefighting training. He wanted to become a firefighter, so I was like, oh perfect, he's for sure not smoking weed. But I haven't talked to Volva since like fucking elementary graduation or something like that. We just found each other on Instagram, followed each other, said what's up, and like that's it. Like we just haven't seen each other since elementary. So I DM'd Vova. I was like, yo dude, what's up man, how's it going, blah blah, like how's everything been? He's like, good, like how are you? I'm like, oh good. I was like, I'm looking, I'm applying for this job right now, and like I really need to get this job. I was like, but I just need clean piss, dude. I was like, would you be able to bring me some of your pee, because I know that you're like, you don't smoke and shit.
I'd be like, okay, this fool is hitting me up right now for this piss.
And I hit him up like at 8 p.m. It was so funny. And then he was just like, and he
wow.
and he was like I guess I could I can do it. He was like kind of like weirded out by it, but he like wanted to be a homie and like hook me, like help me out. So he was like, okay, like whatever, like I got you. And then I was like, for sure. And he's like, I'll stop by. He's like, I'm actually home right now. He's like, I'll pee into a bottle and I'll drop it off. Like, and he lived up the street from me. And I was like, okay, for sure. Calls me like an hour and a half, 2 hours later. And he's like, yo, dude, like I'm about to pull up, like come outside. So I come outside, and he's like, he pulls up. He's like, yo, dude, he's like, I'm sorry, man. Like I don't know what it is, but I couldn't get that much pee out. He's like, I only got this amount. And then he like gave me this water bottle that had like barely any pee in it. And I was just like, fuck, dude. I was like, okay, whatever. Like I'll have to make it work. So my test was the next day. So the next day I do the whole thing that Alan told me. I get a non-lubricated condom, because if you get a lubricated condom, it fucks with the test. So you have to get a non-lubricated condom. I put his fucking pee in the non-lubricated condom, duct taped it to my fucking thing, took a pin, put a pin onto my fucking thing, onto my shirt, and I was like, alright, let's go get this test.
Jeez,
and
that will work.
I know, exactly. And what's funny about this test is oh yeah, you were able to drive there. You can either take a bus there that they provided, or you can drive there. So I fucking drove there. I sat in the waiting room for like 10-20 minutes. It took a hell of a long time. And I also met one of my coworkers that I worked with in the future that was just like really weird dude in the fucking waiting room. And then I finally go to the doctor. Doctor's like, oh, here's this cup. I go piss in it, go to the bathroom. It's down the hall. I'm like, okay. I go to the bathroom, and then like for some reason, like I'm just so nervous. Like my hands are like shaking. I'm just like so nervous about the situation. And then I go to the bathroom. I take the pin off my shirt, and like I take the cup, and I'm like holding it under my the fucking the duct tape got super sweaty and shit. So the thing was already all loose, so I just took it off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold the condom and just poke a hole in it and squirt it into the cup. And it was hard to like hold the cup, hold the condom, and hold the needle at the same time. So I was trying to finesse that. As soon as I poke a hole into the fucking tip of the condom, it just shoots out of my hand like a rocket and just goes and just fucking and just starts squirting Volvus piss all over my face, like sweater and pants. And I'm just like, oh my god! I fucking like grab it, like pinch it as hard as I can with my hand. It was already barely any piss. Now it's even half of that. It's like fucking half of it got all over the floor and all over me. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. I like take the rest of the piss, dump it in this fucking thing. I'm so frustrated and pissed off at this point. I'm just like, bruh. And then
Pissed off.
shut up. And then I go to the fucking doctor. I give it to him, and he's just like, oh man, like what's going on? This is barely any piss. Like and he's like this is where it gets kind of scary, because he's like yo, this is barely any piss. He's like I'll try to run the test, but he's like, if it doesn't come back, you're gonna have to drink water and take another test. And I was like, I'm fucking fucked or whatever. Luckily he comes back and he's like,
Surito your shit.
A Surito?
Isn't that what it's called?
What's that?
Supposedly the remedy to like clean your piss.
Oh, it's like a chemical you drink?
It's like gelatin.
Oh, what
and
the
it's
fuck?
supposed to clean your piss.
I think we could buy it at like CVS and shit.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I've heard of it. And basically he came back and
Anyways,
said it was
go
more
on.
than enough, and like it came back negative and shit, and I got the job. But I fucking came home, and I swear I took the hottest shower I've ever taken, and I washed myself like 3 times. I fucking washed my hair, I body washed myself so many fucking times. I was so disgusted by the fact that I was covered in my homie's piss. I was like, bruh. And
That's crazy.
what's even like more funny about it is like he hit me up like 2-3 days later, and he was like, yo Yuriy, how'd it go? Were you able to get the job and shit? And I didn't even want to tell him what happened. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to be like, dude, I got your pee all over me. Like I just didn't even.
But it came back clean, right?
Yeah, it came back clean. I got the job and shit. But like, I just never even told him about that whole situation because I was so
That's
embarrassed
funny.
by it. But dude, it was fucking terrible.
That is crazy.
I got the job though.
See, I'm glad you didn't tell me the rest of the story because I was not expecting that.
I can't remember if I said this on Ten Talks before or not.
No, you didn't.
I can't believe you've never had to take a drug test for a job. Like what?
I know.
I feel like so many people have done that.
I've been #blessed with that. But
Imagine No Jumper starts drug testing.
okay.
House phone's list of fucking drugs comes back like this long. They're like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Dude.
Everybody's list.
I know, right? Everyone's list. What about
I'm
yours?
just kidding.
What's on your list?
Mary Jane.
Alright, let me see. Oh, what else? That's all. All I had written was the passing the drug test story and also Vashti's book. But I feel like we should talk about Vashti's book on the next one because
We were talking about our weekend and then you abruptly cut it off.
I did. I'm sorry. Well, what else did you want to say about our weekend?
I was just gonna say that we went to the snow. I guess we talked about.
What's your
that,
most
but-
memorable part about? Like, what was your favorite part about this weekend? The dinner?
No, going in the snow and sledding. I haven't been sledding since I was like a child,
Mhm.
so I haven't felt that feeling in a long time, and it was really fucking scary. So it tripped me out that I used to just be so like not giving a fuck when I was little. Like I would just go down all those crazy hills. And
Exactly,
stuff,
and
like,
not be
thinking
worried.
about it. But today I was like, no,
I know, you
I'm
can
gonna
get-
die.
I kind of felt the same way where like as I was like going down some of them, I was like, I'm going way too fast to control what's gonna happen, and I could literally just like flip over and fuck something up or whatever. And I did flip over, and like I flipped over on my neck, like cracked my neck. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? I heard like
See?
a weird ass crack.
No. I'm good.
You want to hear something that was really fucking with me that I didn't even bring up to you? Is we just finished watching, and this is something that we should talk a little bit about. And
I'm down to talk
we
about
both highly recommend
Wait,
you guys
pour
watch
me
this.
Some more
Champagne?
Yep.
I didn't even finish.
Look at Luffy, he's knocked.
I know he's
the
he's
fuck
knocked the
out.
fuck out. Oh wait, I thought he ran away.
My little baby.
Wait, you're the poor master. Oh, here, no, tilt your cup. Let me do this. No, actually, no, you got
No,
this.
let
I'm
me
gonna
do it.
fucking spill it. But okay, so you guys, what was the name of the series? It's on Netflix.
I think it's called
The Cecil
The
Hotel.
Hotel Cecil.
Hotel
or
Cecil. Basically,
crime case. I don't know.
guys, there's this documentary that came
Hotel
out
Cecil.
on Netflix. It's about Hotel Cecil in Los Angeles, and
Can you put it back on the table? Thank you.
and what I was gonna say that led back to the snow that brought it back to me is we finished watching this documentary, like little documentary series. We started watching Night Stalker, and I think we watched something else that was kind of creepy too. But we've been watching a lot of creepy, murderous
True crime shit.
and like when we were walking around the snow, like I was like getting these moments
Me
where I was like
too.
fuck, like I hope these people are murderers and like weirdos. Like you just never know now. It's like now it's like making me look at everyone differently. Now I'm just like, are they
Why was I like picturing like bloody snow, like going up there? I was like,
Why
what
would
if
you
we
do
see
it?
bloody snow?
Oh my god, dude.
I'd freaking trip. That'd be such a harsh way.
I pictured yellow snow and manifested it.
Anyways, yeah. So
Dude, okay, so this documentary series is about this girl, and I've heard, and honestly, when this first happened,
a very famous case.
a very famous case, and I heard about this case. I didn't hear about it as soon as it came out. I wasn't like, watching like the nighttime news and shit like that. But I heard about it, like 3 or 4 years later through like conspiracy shit. Like I think my friends were telling me about it, or I saw like on a YouTube video about this girl's case, called Elisa Lamb, and everyone has already talked about it, but this documentary series is just so freaking interesting. And at first, Rylee wanted to watch it. You just randomly
My
put it
sister
up.
recommended it.
Your sister recommended it. You just put it up randomly while we were chilling here. And then as soon as it started playing, I was like, "Oh, I know what this is about."
Me too, and I've heard of this case too, and I was
You've
like,
heard of
this
it?
is a crazy. Yes, this girl I watch on YouTube, she did a little video about it.
The
and
one with the boyfriend,
Yes, Kendall Ray.
Kendall Ray.
And
Why don't you want to shout her out?
shout out to Kendall Ray.
We need to shout out from her.
I know. Anyways, I always thought that case was super crazy, but I didn't know it was based in L.A.
Oh, really? You didn't know
Yeah.
Hotel Cecil was in L.A.?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I don't know why that didn't stick to me.
But like as soon as it started playing, remember I was like, oh man, I was like, I kind of want to watch this because I felt like I already knew everything about the situation, and I felt like I knew where it ended, and like I thought like I basically that was it or whatever. But the first there's four episodes or 5 episodes, I think 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, I think there's 4 episodes. The first 2 episodes were like a bunch of stuff that I already knew about the case, and it was but it is interesting for someone that doesn't know because it talks about the whole thing from front to back. But then once it gets to episode 3 and episode 4 and it gets into the conspiracy theories and the weird parts about this fucking case, it's so fucking crazy. Like, I was like, when we first started watching it, we watched in the living room. Rylee fell asleep, and I ended up watching episode 2 and 3 by myself. And like I was just like getting so creeped out and weirded out that I was just like looking around, and our drapes were slightly open, and I was like, oh my god, how long have our drapes been open? Is someone looking at our window? And like now, literally every time I close the door now, I think Night Stalker's fucking outside our door, like sitting there, because that's what he would do. He would sit outside your door, wait for someone to be like,
gross,
bruh.
dude. Those poor children.
That's what's crazy is like
that's fucking nasty.
He's like,
how do you do that?
He is literally,
How do you?
you know what's crazy about that is like his goal is to be as evil and like diabolical as possible, because if he murders an adult, that's fucked up. But he was like stealing kids off the street, raping them, and then he can just
8-year-olds.
but he can just murder them and just get rid of them, but he purposely left them alive so they have to fucking deal with this
that shit forever.
He's so fucking evil, dude.
He's disgusting.
Isn't that crazy?
That was hard to listen to yesterday,
bro. And like how many of like, and like there was like many of them. There was like 10 plus kids he did that to.
I know. That poor girl. That lady who was speaking out.
Yeah,
the
that
first
lady that was speaking out, they got a girl that was actually kidnapped, who's older
She
now,
was
talking
so
about it.
adorable, and she was just so adorable.
And dude,
So innocent. It's fucking disgusting. I don't know how people.
but should we spoil alert? Should we just talk about everything that happens in the documentary, or should we tell people to watch? I feel like we should just talk about what happens in it, because I feel like our little summarization of it is like okay, but if you want the full story, you should watch the fucking thing.
It'll go way more in depth.
But basically, there is this girl, Elisa Lamb. She was like she's from British Columbia, which is Canada or whatever, and she's like a student, but I'm not sure why was she in LA for school, right?
No, she just wanted to do like a
to
trip,
travel, right?
Okay,
yeah, she wanted
graduating or something.
Yeah, she wanted to travel, so she came out to she went to San Diego, San Francisco, and then her stop before she ended up dying and passing away, disappearing basically, was Los Angeles, and she was at the Cecil Hotel, which I already knew of this hotel, and I knew that it's an old ass hotel. That's all I knew about it, was like old hotel, and I knew like half of it's Section 8. But in this documentary, they bring up how many deaths, like how many people died in this fucking hotel, and it's ridiculous. Like they bring up the manager who was the manager for them for 10 years, and this hotel has 700 rooms, and there's a part of the documentary where she's like, I'm not sure if there's a room that someone hasn't died in, and there's 700 rooms.
Yeah,
that's fucking insane,
and
dude.
She said in her 10 years working there was 80 deaths, which is fucking crazy.
It'd be
crazy to have one death,
which is 8 deaths a year.
You know, what the hell?
That's fucking insane. Just eight deaths a year.
Yeah.
If like everything spread out evenly, but imagine 1 year there was just hella. There was like 20.
I'm sure that happened
back in the day or something like that.
Dude,
it's so fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
But anyways, like basically,
it just looks like creepy.
You guys have probably seen this footage where Elisa Lamb there's a video of her in the elevator, and she's acting very strangely. She's like moving her hands around really weird, and like she's pressing the elevator door really weird. And there's this like weird part where she presses all these buttons in the elevator, and the elevator should go away, but it stays there for 2 minutes, and then it just fucking closes and opens and closes and opens, and then she fucking just disappears. Basically, it's like if you see this footage, it looks very haunted and like it doesn't look normal. It just seems like something strange is going. Like it seems like you would watch in Paranormal Activity or something like that. And basically, what happens after this video is apparently this girl makes her way up to the roof of the building somehow, and then on the roof of the building are these 4 water towers, and on top of the water towers are these like hatches that you have to like open up, and they're 20 pounds each apparently. And she like somehow either the hatch was already open, or she lifted up a hatch and climbed inside one of these water towers, and basically just fucking fell in there and got stuck in there and died in there. People or her parents or someone filed a missing persons report. They looked for her, they searched the roof, but didn't decide to look inside the water tower. Couldn't find her, and she was in there for 19 days until a janitor found her, because they had a clog in the building, because people were brushing their teeth
and the water was discolored.
Yeah, they're using the water that was coming from this water tower, and she was just decomposing slowly. So like, isn't that crazy, dude? Like, that's pieces of a person.
I know, dude. It's fucking sick.
And
it's
like,
it's really, really sad.
Yeah, it's just super sad. And like, basically, like, I don't want to go through too much of the case. You have to like watch the documentary to watch the whole thing. But some of the weirdest parts that they bring up that I did not know about is she passes away, and then they find her body 20 days later, apparently, after she disappears. They don't know exactly when she got in the water tower, but 20 days after, or 19 to 20 days after the missing persons report was filed, she was found in the water tower. Like a couple days after she was found, that whole area around that hotel, which is like all Skid Row, a bunch of homeless people are there, everyone started getting tuberculosis. And then everyone in the building, everyone in the hotel, everyone in the whole area had to get tuberculosis tests. And what's really strange is apparently the name of a test to give someone like to test Rylee for tuberculosis. The name of that test is called a Lamb Eliza or a Lamb Elisa, which is her name backwards. Which is like
weird.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
what are the odds?
What are the odds? But you know what I was kind of thinking about that is, usually when something happens, when a court case happens, or when someone dies and they find a cure for something, they usually name it after the person that died recently, or they usually name it after someone. So I was thinking that maybe they named the tuberculosis test about someone else called
That was
Elisa
before
Lamb
though.
a long time ago. Yeah, but it's so weird how
But that's a
that's
weird.
still a coincidence regardless.
That's a different name.
Lamb Eliza, but it's still Eliza. But maybe they just like reversed it, you know what I mean? But like, it's very, very strange that it's the same fucking name, and then just apparently everyone started getting tuberculosis, and yeah, in that area, and the first for some reason I guess it kind of makes sense, but people started speculating that she's for some reason a government ploy, like her body itself is like a weapon, and the Canadian government sent her here to give the homeless people tuberculosis so that they will all die,
No.
which is like such a crazy plot. Like that's a big stretch, but
Okay, what about the movie though?
oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that. We should watch that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Apparently there's also a movie called Dark Water, and I remember when I was a kid, I remember the advertisements for this movie, and it's a movie about the same situation, but like a younger girl. It's about a mom and like a little girl. They move into a building that's like super old and like shitty, just kind of how this hotel is. And the young girl goes to the roof, falls inside a water tower, dies, and then that water fucking gets discolored. And apparently, more and more people keep like falling in that water tower and dying. It's like a cycle of some sort or whatever. And like no one finds out about it because no one can find out where these people are disappearing to. And like that's already kind of strange that it has a kind of like the same story plot of what's going on with that girl situation. But what's even weirder is when that girl disappeared, she disappeared in a red sweater, and when she was found in the water tower, she was still wearing that red sweater. So she basically died wearing a red sweater. She ended up taking it off or whatever, but the girl in the movie was also wearing a red sweater, which is like that's just so weird, dude. Like why
What are the
why
a
are
red
there
hoodie?
a red hoodie? Yeah, exactly. Why are there two coincidences like just like that back to back? And then the last one I feel is kind of like a stretch, where basically the last place that this girl visited was this store called the Last Library, which is a really cool place in downtown, and I recommend anyone that goes to LA to go there. It's called the Last Library. It's basically like a library slash museum slash like an art walk. It's really interesting. There's like 3 floors to it, and the first floor is like a normal library, and then once you get to the top, the shelving and everything starts getting placed in a labyrinth where it starts looking hella weird. You have to like find your way out. It's like super super interesting. But apparently that was the last store she visited, and before she passed away. But if you look up this store on Google and you look up their PO box address or their delivery or some sort of address that is linked to this store, that address connects perfectly to the cemetery that this girl is buried in.
Yeah, it's so
Like
weird.
what the fuck, dude? That's like so strange.
What are the fucking odds of that though?
And that's what I started thinking, that like what are the odds of that? But then I was wondering, you know how there was this case became super viral, so there was hundreds of thousands of people looking into the case and looking into her and trying to find anything that connects or whatever. I was thinking like if like someone else were to pass away that we know very closely or whatever, like, or if I were to pass away or whatever, if like hundreds of thousands of people were to look into me and like everything that I was surrounded by before I died, like would they also be able to find these weird coincidental connections?
Yeah.
I feel like you might I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but I feel like you might
I
be
don't
able to
know,
find the same thing.
There's a lot of cases out there, and not a lot of them have the similar weird coincidences.
Yeah,
you know.
I wonder though, like, cause
I mean, some of them do for sure.
but
There's a
but
lot of
do we
crazy
take the
things.
time to look into it though? Is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
wondering.
true.
You know,
That's true, that's
because
true.
her case was like viral apparently.
But those are weird. Those are all weird
Mm-hmm.
things. It's like the TB test that was ran in the building she died in.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Elisa Lamb, or Lamb Elisa,
Mhm.
whatever. And the last bookstore where she was last at goes back to her grave site, Like,
Exactly.
those are the weird coincidences like that.
Dude,
Connecting to her death.
you know what I'm wondering is how the manager already knew about this girl because she passed away and she's the manager. She has to know, so she probably knows her name is Elisa Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has to end up. She's like, oh, we had to test everyone in the building. She probably knew the name of the test, and she had to give everyone the test. I wonder if she in her head was like, damn, what the fuck? Like, this is the same name. Like, I wonder if she had that same coincidental, like, moment, too, where she was like, this is fucking weird. Like,
Yeah,
what the
she
hell's
probably
going
for
on?
sure did.
I
I'd be
would,
like, I'd be tripping.
but, I wonder if it's somehow connected. Have you ever heard of the 6 points of separation? Have you ever heard of that theory? Some dude wrote a book about it, and apparently it's kind of proven correct, where anyone on planet Earth you can think of, like you and some
Oh, I think you were explaining this.
yeah, like apparently like you and some random person in fucking China are connected by at least 6 points of connection where you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who's friends with that person. And even though you guys have never ever talked together, you know, like in person or whatever, you guys are connected at least by I think it's 6 or 9 points of connection or whatever. But basically, within a couple people, you can connect yourself to anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering like if someone were to pass away and you looked into like all the different connections they have in their life, like would you also be able to stumble upon, you know, not the same coincidences but also weird coincidences where you're like, whoa, what the fuck, like what's up with this, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
that'd be really weird.
I like to live in like the dream world. Where it's like the crazy stuff.
Oh, you like to believe in it. I noticed.
But then it's like, yeah, like at the end of the documentary series, you're gonna see what actually happens, and it's like, oh, like that makes total sense. Like, wow, it's like all these crazy conspiracies, and then that's
yeah, it does make sense, but like the only like they answered this girl was found in the water tower and her clothes were removed and they were like at the bottom of the water tower and she was naked like floating up. So there was two things that were kind of open-ended. No, there's three things that were kind of open-ended that that they kind of like just explained or whatever. First they said and even the dude in the documentary, he says like he's like, it's common for people who have hypothermia to take their clothes off or whatever. He's like, so that might have been what happened, but they don't have a definite answer for why she took her clothes off, you know? So people take off their clothes when they're hypothermic when they're outside, or they can do the same thing when they're in water, you know? Like, I wonder if that test has been run or whatever. So that also is like...
That's what I was thinking too. Sorry to cut you off, but... How would your mind know that? Like, if you're drowning in water, like, how is your mind gonna go to, let me take my clothes off to, like...
And that's kind of hard to do while you're swimming.
Yeah.
And that honestly could have been when she drowned, but she successfully took all her clothes off because she was fully naked.
She?
No, she was fully naked, they said.
I know, or did she take her clothes off?
No, yeah, exactly. So that was... But then one thing that they did bring up, which is something I was already thinking about this like the whole time I was watching the documentary before they even brought it up, is if anyone were to have murdered her or basically like dumped her body in that water tower, just to bring her up there, like if you were to like play dead or like just like, go limp and I had to carry you up a ladder, you would be like, babe, you're hurting my stomach, like just carrying you would like hurt you, you know what I mean? Like it would just like the whole weight of all your body, like just on one little point of me like carrying you or even dragging you by your arm, I would dislocate your arm or break your arm or, you know, like cause some sort of stress or bruise you, or like bruise your wrist where I'm holding you. Like there would be some sort of like thing on your body. But then at the same time, one thing that they didn't really like bring up, which is like something I was wondering, is after 20 days of floating in water, are you still gonna have a bruise? If I were to bruise you right now, within a week, the bruise is gone.
You'd be swelled up with water and shit. Right?
With the body? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I feel like
aren't you gonna get like more puffy because you're just like sitting in the water?
You're decomposing in water. I feel like you decompose faster in water. You know what I mean? Like, if you put anything in water, it fucking decomposes faster. And I'm just like, if you were to bruise her, or like, you know, if you don't break any bones, obviously, but if you were just to bruise her, carrying her up, like, I feel like that bruise would be gone after 20 days of floating in water, you know? So that's another thing I was wondering. And this is me just trying to give the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? Like, of the other side. And I'm not sure if that's fucked up or not to the parents or whatever, like, just to, like, kind of keep her fucking daughter's murder open-ended. But it's just, like, interesting. Just to bring... There's a whole documentary about it. You know what I mean? Like, so this is the... I don't know.
Open-ended topic.
Exactly. Should we talk about the H3 thing?
Wait, but Okay, yeah.
I don't know why. Wait, hold on. What are you gonna bring
I was
up?
gonna say that her in the end, her should we expose that? Or we could let them watch it.
About what, the thing?
Like how it ends. Like how they figure out
Oh,
why
yeah.
she did what or
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened.
yeah, exactly. But like, I don't want to explain it too much because I
Yeah,
feel like
you
we
guys can
we would
watch
do a
it.
whole episode about it
Yeah,
at that point. But yeah, I feel like you guys should watch it because to me, my mind was being blown.
And it's a really
whole
interesting
time.
case. It's a very famous case.
Yeah, very famous case, and it's
It
like,
was a good documentary to watch.
and what's even
It's
crazier
interesting.
that everyone that's Adam just watched this documentary, Josh just watched this documentary, and the first question that pops into your head after you finish the documentary is, how is this fucking hotel still open? And it is.
That's what I said. I was like, it's still running.
Yeah, it's about to hit its and they're. Did you hear at the
But
end?
she said that
They're about to remodel it and make it even bigger and better.
she said that they sold the hotel, so it's not technically the Cecil Hotel anymore.
Really?
But yeah, I know.
Just because you call something, someone still died in there,
I know, it's so gross.
bro. Wait, just to bring up
They
one.
think they're gonna revamp it with all those,
Yeah, I know
like,
exactly.
bloody ass mattresses.
And also they still can't change the rules. Half of the people in there are still Section 8.
I know, and
So
they
it's
said
like-
they said that they're gonna keep half of it the Section 8,
Yeah, they have
and
to.
then the other half the luxury.
You know what's
hotel.
you know what's funny that I didn't even bring up? That's like kind of like a conniving little like I just like a dirty little thing that kind of they dusted under the rug in the documentary is the manager of the Cecil. She was like, oh yeah, I became the manager of the Cecil, and we were trying to revamp it, make it a cool new place to live, and like, you know, to like stay at a hotel out. And she's like, we had all these people that were living in there for 30-40 years paying $300-400. She's trying to make them look bad. And then she's like, yeah, we immediately sent out eviction notices trying to get them all evicted, and then we found out that we can't evict them. It's like, you already like, dude, if you're becoming a manager of a hotel, like, number one, you didn't make that choice to evict them. Someone else made that choice, and whoever's making that choice already knows of this law. This law is all over Los Angeles.
She started her intro was like, the Cecil Hotel. That was my kingdom. Like,
Oh yeah, I
something
know
like
exactly. Yeah,
That was my kingdom.
and dude, like, they try to do the same. The reason why, like, I'm saying it's kind of conniving and like weird to
Like-
me is they try to do the same thing in my parents' building where they tried to kick
I'm
out all
sure.
the old Russian
Really?
people that have been living there for a hella long time and are on Section 8 and are paying like, you know, way
Gentrification.
less. And it's because the when you sell a building to a new owner, the owner's like, fuck yeah, this building's in West Hollywood, perfect, I'm gonna buy this building, make hella money. And he doesn't take the time to look into the rules around the fucking area and like how old this building is and like who can live in there and who lives there right now and shit like that. They'll just buy the building with all these plans, and then they realize like, oh wait, there's all these old people here that are paying $600 a month. Let's try to evict them, and they don't even know that these rules exist or whatever. And they try to do this at my parents' building where they try to kick out all these elderly people, and I think they even try to kick my parents out.
That's fucked
And there's
up.
this rule that says like, dude, like, I forgot the rule, but like, if you've been living in a place for long enough, like, you can't just get evicted for no fucking reason. If you're paying your rent, that's it. And also, if your rent that is set at a certain price and you've been living there for like a certain amount of
Probably
time,
like a 10-year kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. It's like they can't adjust your price dramatically or whatever. And I just thought it was funny that she just tried to make it seem so innocent that they try to evict a whole bunch of fucking people from. Dude, what would happen to all those people? They would all go straight to the streets
I
of fucking
know,
downtown.
Skid Row.
It's like, bruh. And I just thought that
At
part
least
was
they're
really funny.
Yeah.
At least they're staying there. But
Trying.
dude, imagine. Yeah. Well, to be honest, remember
I don't know though.
remember I
It seemed like very shady up in there.
remember I told you I've climbed into a couple of these downtown buildings. I climbed into the Rosslyn Hotel, which is just as old and just as like people
Shady.
also go there to do drugs and like fuck prostitutes and people die and, you know, murder there and shit like that. I climbed that place and same shit. Like, dude, I like peeked into some of the apartments there and bro, like it's bad. Like it's like it's like what you see on the street but into like a little room. You know, even like it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
But the prices are really good. It's like $400 a
I can't
month.
believe there's 700 rooms in there.
Right? That's what I was wondering. I was like
How?
looking at it every time they show videos of it. I'm like looking at it. I'm like in my head. I'm trying
It's
to
like a
imagine.
little tiny dorm.
That's what I'm wondering. Are
Well,
the
she said
are
that
the rooms
she
very
was
small?
like a roommate with 3 other girls. Remember?
But how big are these rooms that they can fit
It's like
700
bunks.
of them?
Like bunk beds.
That's insane, dude.
I don't know.
700, dude. Like one of the last climbing videos I did was me doing the 58 story like rope swing, where I was swinging off this 58 story like ledge or whatever. That building is 78 stories. That's like 3 times the size of Cecil. I wonder how many rooms that shit's gonna have. Probably like 1,000. Holy, I wonder how many like what's the most rooms a building has like in the world. I wonder that. I know
700 rooms is a lot for a hotel, though.
Dude, does the White House have 700 rooms?
No.
That's insane. Like 700 rooms is so much. And each
Yeah,
one someone has
that's
been
crazy.
each one someone
Even for a
has died in.
hotel, that's a lot of rooms, right?
That's so many rooms. How do you, as a manager, how do you keep up with 700 people? Right?
You don't.
You-
And
it's
that's
impossible.
Why people get away with fucking shit there.
For
You know? It's fucking Karen running that shit.
that is a Karen. 100% is the definition of a Karen. But dude, you need like 5 managers for 700 rooms, or maybe 7 managers, like one manager
Poor
for.
Karen.
Dude.
She's just. She's just trying
There's
to
all these
run
people.
that
They're like, my water is dark and it tastes like there's a dead person in it.
You know she's stressed every day.
Bruh.
Yeah.
It's
poor
funny how she was like oh, the janitor came to me and said the water pipes were clogged, and I had maintenance go up and take a look immediately.
She was
see
definitely
if-
sus.
Dude, you know what?
She was.
You know, was one thing that they said that I thought was really funny. So basically, the reason why they found this girl is because there was apparently a clog in the building, and and she said that one client complained saying like, hey, there's a clog, can you go check it out? And she's like, I had my maintenance guy check all the pipes in the building for a possible clog. And then in my head I was like, 700 rooms, 15 stories tall, how it's gonna take him 16 years to check all the fucking pipes, dude. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's
Exactly.
insane. And his first, and like, what's like in my mind is like, I'm not a plumber, but there's 15 stories of shit to check, and the first thing you check is like the top of the water tower. Maybe that's the first thing.
She seems like a bullshitter. She seems like a bullshitter.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like something fishy happened.
That is a sketchy ass hotel, and she's just like, I was proud to run the Cecil Hotel. Like, that was my kingdom. She's sketch, you know.
But imagine she probably came from out of town and then comes to LA and they give her a fucking
know.
giant ass hotel to run. She's like, yes.
I wonder where she's from.
I think they talk about it in the documentary. Dude, you guys gotta watch it. It's
I
such a good
know.
documentary, bro. It's crazy. It was honestly fucking blowing my mind or whatever. But one thing,
Yeah, it was really good.
one thing that they didn't talk. Well, there's many things they didn't talk about in the documentary that has to do with that hotel, because that hotel is 100 years old, has a giant long past. It's like 97 years old, has a super long past. But they talk about some of the crazy murders that have happened in that hotel. But the other day I looked up on Wikipedia. I looked up Cecil Hotel.
Wikipedia.
And I looked up like it gave me like a giant list of all the murders, or like a lot of the documented murders that have happened there. It's fucking insane, dude. Like, that place is like, I don't even know, it's like hell, dude. Like, there's so many crazy stories that have happened there. They're just traumatic, nightmarish, and there's like a list of it, and it's all at this fucking hotel, and this hotel is still open, and you can go get a room there right now if you wanted.
Should we get one?
I told you. I said let's get a room. You said no. I'm
No,
scared.
you said. I said I'm down to get a room. I'm not down to. He wants to stay at the Night Stalker.
I want to stay in Richard Ramirez's room because I want to like chill in the room and take it all in and be like, well, what was this guy thinking? You know, like, how did this guy feel when he went to bed at night? You know, and stuff like that.
I'm not down for that.
Why not? We don't have to go to sleep. We have to sleep in there. We can literally, we live
I
40,
think we
30
should do
minutes
the
to work.
Queen Mary and stream that.
I want to do a stream at a. I told you,
but
but it's done. I'll roll another one.
Okay.
I told you, right? I don't want to do a stream like that. I'm scared of doing IRL streams. At a disclosed location. I'm not scared of doing IRL streams at
yeah,
an undisclosed, but I'm scared of doing IRL streams at a disclosed location. Just because I don't know. I don't know what the hell can happen. we wanted one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I'm not sure how many people in here watched the H3H3 podcast, but we wanted to talk about the whole situation that happened with basically the last episode was AB like dealing with the effects, but the previous episode before the last one is the one where
I'll
they're
give a prefix. So, pretty much, they did a whole Frenemies podcast exposing David Dobrik in the Vlog Squad or whatever. And
but he's been going in on David Dobrik the past couple episodes.
Yeah,
like, he just keeps.
But they
got Big Nick.
The last episode though was a whole episode of them exposing.
That's when they got Big Nick
dedicated. No, this was on Frenemies where they dedicated it.
Oh, I remember.
And then
they
had Big Nick on. And then
that's what I'm saying. He's going out of his way to bring up more and more and more shit.
He really wants to get at.
And what's interesting is
David.
H3 is he's kind of like embracing Trish's like fuck everyone type of mentality. Where H3 at one point was just doing his own thing, staying in his bubble. Someone would talk shit about H3, he would ignore it. Someone would talk shit about H3, he would blow up, and then he would address it in his own podcast, and then that's it, and that would be the end of it. But like it like now it feels like every episode is now like attacking Logan Paul, attacking this dude, attacking this dude. It's like he's
he just does not like anybody who doesn't fuck with him, like, really, you know?
It's like but he's
I keep saying, I guess just don't know that.
I've just never seen him go out of his way to attack people like this. You know what I mean? Like every episode though. Usually it's sometimes when something gets out of hand and like it gets brought up to his attention so much that he's like, oh fuck, I have to address this. But it feels like now every episode he's just attacking someone continuously. And the Logan Paul one was so boring, dude. It's like everything he brought up, it's like who hasn't heard of this?
Who cares what Logan Paul said? Like, why are you taking that to heart so bad?
I feel like we would care about it if he was talking about it when it happened, but everything he's talked about, we've heard about a million times. Like we've heard
talking about Logan Paul.
Yeah, like everything he said about Logan Paul, like we've heard Keemstar say it. We've heard every YouTuber on YouTube talk about it. Like we don't have to hear you like re fucking list everything that Logan Paul has done shitty, you know what I mean, just to say like he's more shitty than I am or whatever type of thing, you know what I mean, because that's basically what like he was explaining it to be. So it was just super strange to me. But basically on what were you saying on that episode, they were talking about
David.
But what was it? Was it H3H3 podcast? Or was it like a
First it was Frenemies, and then the next one was, I think, like an H3 After Dark.
Yeah,
After
Dark.
Big Nick, and then it was the H3 podcast. I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of different fucking podcasts, so I don't know.
They had Big Nick. They had Big Nick on. And then one thing that I have to say about the Big Nick situation is, and I dude, it's weird because like after watching the recent one, they make it seem so like fucking insane, but like from my perspective of keeping up with Big Nick's content, and I was watching Big Nick's content on TikTok, not TikTok, on Vine. Dude, Big Nick was already making Vines where he was making fun of the fact that he was a little person, you know, and like making fun of his height, and like I'm not saying every Vine was like that, but there was many Vines where it was Big Nick filming himself in his fucking room or in the living room, or like he's basically Big Nick filming himself doing a joke where the joke is that the fact that he's short or whatever and stuff like that. And then like some of his popular ones were, you know, basically like that's what added to the joke, or that's what made it funny, or like, you know, that was kind of like, it was like a thing that everyone who watched it knew that was a part of the thing or whatever. And it was very known to everyone watching that he knew that he was like knowledgeable about it too. It's not like people were laughing at him. It's like he was the one setting the thing, and we were laughing with him basically. And like after watching the Big Nick one, like he made it sound like that David Dobrik like kind of created like this whole persona of like make fun of Big Nick because he's short or whatever. And like in my situation, like, oh, not situation, but like in my perspective, it kind of just feels like David Dobrik was almost going along with what he saw was appropriate that Big Nick was setting, you know what I mean, as a standard. Like kind of like he was like, this is okay to make fun of, you know what I mean, like, and they just think it's okay or whatever. Kind of like how I am with, you know, my friends at like at the warehouse and stuff like that. It's like
Which I guess you
the
shouldn't
orange.
assume that it's okay, but
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't assume that it's okay, but it just like from what I've seen, like it just seems like he himself
I
already
know what you mean
propagated
because I
that
do
type
remember
of
watching his vines, and most of his poppin' ass vines that I
were
would see were
that type of stuff.
his joke was on himself.
Exactly, and that's why I was like kind
And
of
that's why I did agree with AB when he was saying that
exactly. So after that was the Big Nick one, and then I already had like a couple like weird feelings about after the watching the Big Nick one, and it's like I'm not like trying to like they
like,
make
I
it.
don't know, like I'm not in your shoes, but
It's so weird
it's
because
like hard to like it's hard to I don't know.
they make to me it just looks like they're like it's not even like I'm not even a big David Dobrik fan. I don't even care about this guy. You know what I mean? Like, but to me, like, it almost just looks like they were so okay with it when they were getting, you know, like extra views, extra subscribers, extra followers,
totally.
you know, like whatever advertisement money and stuff like
they
that.
Loved it.
But then they loved
being
it.
A part of it.
Exactly. But then as soon as like now David Dobrik's off YouTube, he's doing whatever he's doing, working on a TV show or whatever. He, like no one's really working with him as closely as they were now. Like, and these people are like the farthest away from that bubble. Now they're the ones who are like, oh wait, actually that was whack. You know what I mean? Like now that they're not receiving, you know, like all the subscribers and all the like things that came with it at the time.
That they're not a part of the
that's
group
almost
anymore.
that's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And
but like for Trisha, I do feel for her. Like I do think Jason was a fucking asshole to her.
Yeah,
he was a fucking dick. Like you can see in past videos that he was actually a fucking toxic asshole to her.
Honestly, when I was watching the David Dobrik,
so like I feel for
like, when I was watching the David Dobrik vlogs, I remember it was like it was a constant thing in my head where I was trying to figure out the relationship.
Yeah, you're like,
I was like, is he? He's
this?
Introducing her to his kids, and she's giving his kids presents.
No, I would.
So is this serious? And then he's making jokes about her fucking other guys and him fucking other girls. So is this not serious? And then it was like, and then in my head I was like, if it is a joke in his mind and her mind, then it's fucked up for the kids because they think they have a new mom and they think they need to grow a relationship with this lady Trish, unless Jason's taking the kids to the side and going like, hey, this is all for the vlog, like she's actually weird, you know what I mean, like, or something like that. That's why it was so weird to me, you know what I mean? So at that point I feel like the kids are kind of getting the short end of the stick too, because they're dealing with this kids. Yeah, exactly, they're dealing with this weird ass fucking situation, you know what I mean?
Like they don't know what's real or not.
And I'm not even defending Jason at this point because, like, this seemed weird on Jason's part. You know what I mean? Like, just to have his kids thrown under the bus there. But I don't know. How long was he with her until he introduced her to his kids? I don't even know.
Remember.
But that was always strange.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he's just weird.
And like I'm not here to start saying that like everyone who's coming out against David Dobrik is wrong, or everyone who's coming out against David Dobrik is just looking for clout, because
this is just our opinion from what we can see
in
their videos.
And also, like, dude, in the
content
in the H3 podcast, they make it seem like if you have any type of opposite opinion towards whatever these people are saying, you're immediately shaming them, putting them down, and like calling them like liars and like stuff like that. It's like, no, it's like I'm just like trying to figure out the situation, because like I still
devil's advocate.
Almost like play yeah, but I guess sometimes it could seem fucked up to play devil's advocate when, you know, like someone's being traumatized because
but he was seeing different, like he was trying to see David's
AB,
you know,
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
so
like,
after the Big Nick episode, AB they were like just talking about the situation, and then they were talking about how they were gonna have Seth on the next one, and then AB's like, Seth, oh man, that dude's a huge liar. And honestly, at that point, I kind of felt like AB already fucked up, because I felt like he was taking too strong of a stand, where he was like, that dude's a complete liar. Because there was like some weird ass shit that David Dobrik did with the watermelons in the refrigerator, and like
I didn't know he said he was a liar.
Yeah, he basically said like, oh, that dude's bullshit, and he like said super upfront, and like basically like, yeah, that dude's fucking I'm not even sure if they might have deleted it by now, but he basically like straight up said like, oh, he's bullshit and he's a liar, like super upfront, just like that. And I thought that was a very strong statement to make. I was like, even though I'm kind of you know, not believing it 100%, I would not make that crazy strong of a statement where I was like, these fools are fucking bullshit and blah blah or whatever. But I thought that was really weird. But he was kind of like trying to bring up the fact that like there are some good arguments against these people. You know what I mean? Like
I think so.
it's like especially with the fact that you're so okay with it for the whole time until you don't have a piece of the money or a piece of the situation or the like you're not until you stop benefiting from it. That's when you're not okay with it. And then remember we were kind of bringing this up with the SPM situation where it's like the baby mama was just like there was like a whole 8-9 year period where it was just like okay, and then until you don't receive a certain amount of money, then it becomes immoral. You know what I mean? Like, and not to say that thing is not immoral or not. It's just that on your part, it's not 100% genuine anymore. You know what I mean? On your part, it's already starting to look shady because you're not doing it for the morality either.
Like, you can't place the blame on the other person when you were giving it the thumbs up in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the argument trying to I feel like that's the argument that AB was trying to bring up where and they were trying to make it seem he kind of did take a super strong stand.
In both ways, it's like fucked up in both ways. Like both sides are fucked up. Like I don't know. I can see both perspectives for sure, but I feel like AB should not have gotten the backlash. I felt so bad for him.
I know.
He was like, I am so sorry. Like he felt like a robot. It was not him anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It felt like this life was sucked out of him.
And that's
his soul was like.
That's remember
I felt sad. I was like, this is not him. I felt sad for him too. He's like my favorite like.
He was not my favorite at
He's
first,
the funniest
but now
to
I'm
me.
starting to really sympathize with him. Where I'm like, dude,
because he reminds me of you, like
really?
Their version of you in the show, like a part of the cast or whatever.
But remember, this is when we saw basically AB started kind of playing the devil's. He kind of did take a strong statement on Seth, but AB started playing the devil's advocate on David Dobrik's side, kind of pointing
some
holes.
Some of the shit he was saying was kind of like
he was trying to poke holes and like trying to bring up some of the stuff that we brought up with Big Nick and Seth and like some of and Trisha and shit like that. And there's a lot of things to bring up about Trisha. She's very hypocritical. She constantly, contradicts herself. She constantly, like, even with her things about Hitler, where she says, like, I don't even know about Hitler. And then, like, I bet you can find YouTube videos where they cut pieces together.
She smiles and
no, dude,
I don't know why she does that.
She makes certain jokes that are only appropriate if you were to make them. Not jokes. She makes certain statements that are only appropriate to make. Not even appropriate, but you can only kind of let slide if it was like some little kid who didn't know about Hitler. But she makes these statements as if she doesn't know about Hitler, and it's super offensive to Jewish people and like people who have suffered under the whole Nazi thing. And then she kind of plays like, oh, I didn't even know about it, blah blah. But then you'll see other videos where she kind of acknowledges the fact that she actually is aware of fucking how terrible Hitler is and actually is aware that her jokes are offensive, but she's playing that card. So it's like, dude, you can easily call Trisha out, and I hate how like H3 is like getting to this point where he feels like you must protect Trisha at all costs. It's like she's a cool person, but she's very hypocritical, dude. Like and like you can easily call her out on a lot of the stuff that she says. Like you can put a lot of the clips together and like she can use whatever excuse she has, but it's like it is offensive and not good at the end of the day, that some of the stuff she does or whatever. Can't you agree?
I just don't like how he was like, so how does this make you feel on your or how you were coming across this AB? Like he was like hella drilling that down his throat. I felt so bad for him. He was just like, I don't know what to say.
Remember this
it was terrible for me to think like that. I was like, oh, this is weird brainwashy shit.
Remember, this is when I brought up, I was like, babe, this is the new H3 cult. I was like making fun like how H3 always says. It
sucks because we do love watching
H3. Exactly, I do love watching H3. And like it's like I'm not saying he's a terrible guy or whatever,
we actually do.
This is turning. It's just like all this stuff that I'm starting to witness as a fan. I'm like, what the hell? Like this is kind of like turning into like I feel bad for AB
because we like all these people.
Exactly, and like what's funny is like H3. He kind of is known for calling other people, other organizations cults and like trying to call out cults and saying how bad, cults are or whatever. But when I was watching that, I was just like, this is a guy trying to share an opinion. Yes, I kind of agree that he did take a very hard statement on Seth, but this is a guy trying to share an opinion and then he comes back literally the next fucking show, and he's just like, I'm sorry for saying anything. I'll never say that again. I'll never share my opinion again. Like I was scared. And he was like,
and this guy is so lively on every episode. Like,
I know,
super
exactly.
energetic, has a funny personality, and this episode he was like,
that should not be
super robot.
Like it's like, I'm not even trying to say that AB was 100% right with everything he says, but I'm trying to say that the answer is not him coming back going, I'm never saying that again. I'm so sorry, guys. I was and he literally said like he wanted to kill himself. It's like,
it was fucking
it's like,
sad.
dude, like that's already kind of like some sort of dictatorship where like you can't even fucking share any opinion or else you're the enemy. Like that's it. Fuck this guy. Like he has to kill himself. He has to get fired. Like blah blah. Like all this shit. It's fucking crazy.
He said his wife was crying.
Yeah, his like wife is crying because of how much of this is affecting him. Like holy shit, dude.
It's too much. He didn't deserve that. All that. I don't think so.
And then I don't know. I'm not sure if you noticed, but at the end of it, H3 does the typical H3 shit where he doesn't really read the vibe of the room. And then he was like, AB. They kept talking about how fucked up it was for Big Nick and Seth, and like they're just talking about their whole perspective on things. And then they were just like, and then Ethan turns to like talks to AB. He's like, yo, so what were you like? You know, basically bring up again like the shit that you were saying about Big Nick and Seth. And he was just like, no, man. He was like, no. He was like, shit. I think he was even holding his head like
Hila
this.
was like, it's okay.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. She's like, I don't think he wants to talk about. Exactly, dude, bro.
Like,
that was fucked up.
Chill, dude.
And that was
vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Breathe
That was him.
the
That was him just not. But he does that a lot with a lot of his guests.
I know.
Where he just can't read the vibe and he gets very uncomfortable.
Why do you have to push it, dude? Why do you have to push it? Poor guy. He's like so traumatized.
Bro, and
he's
like
I'm never gonna speak again.
And like and honestly, like he's not alone with that. Like imagine being in college right now. Like in college, that's what they talk about. Like I forgot what the word for is, but they talk about how if you were to enter any type of college in California or New York, any type of college where it's more leftist liberal, you're gonna come out of the college 100% leftist liberal. Like unless you drop out or say like fuck this or whatever, by the time you're out of that college, you're gonna be like super pro anything liberal. Like it's like
that's where I went to school.
They're gonna like they drill that shit into, and not to say that anything that they teach you is wrong. It's just that like it's turned into like almost like a dictatorship of the stuff you should say or not say, where people are just like, you have to think a certain way, you have to say a certain thing, or if you say any opposing opinion, you are now the enemy and you have to be destroyed and you have to be fired and you can't make money and you have to starve to death. And like what's like, dude, what's the limit, dude? Like what the fuck?
I would say I am super liberal, but it's like, or I am very liberal on the liberal side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is crazy going to like a school like San Francisco State where it's like down your fucking.
You felt it too.
Everything.
You saw it too when you were there.
I wish you could see my school.
Oh my
crazy
god!
It is.
San Francisco. I fucking
Babe,
bet, dude.
Super crunchy granola.
Crunchy granola, is that what they say?
Hippie.
Hippie? Like, are there a lot of people taking acid and shit?
Yeah.
Were you ever offered acid?
No. I mean, yes. But I never did. I never did acid. And I never did any psychedelics.
How'd you get offered acid?
Friends. I mean, I knew people who had, like, acid and stuff. And, like, a group of people were going to do acid one night in my freshman year of college. But I was fucking not down. I would only like smoked weed before. I was never down for that shit.
For acid? Yeah, that shit's scary.
Anything. I only smoked weed and drank. Like, if you did in my hometown, if you did anything other than that, like you were weird. If you were like, if people knew you were doing coke, like they'd be like, "Damn, like Rylee did
you're crazy
fucking coke."
Or whatever.
Yeah, you're fucking crazy. Like I remember girls would did Molly one night. And that was, like, the talk. Like, oh, my God, Molly, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was fucking wild. So, like, hearing your stories in high school.
About doing ecstasy? Dude, you know
I was like, oh, my God, if anybody had heard that, like,
you know who I really want to have on? I'm not sure if we should have them on together or separately, but I want to have Luca on, and I want to have Chris on. I think we should have it separately because I want to talk to Chris about a lot of our high school stories and the shit we did and like shit we because we went to high school together and I feel like he has a lot of funny stories. But one thing I've never I've gotten Chris's perspective on it back in the day,
so funny.
but I haven't gotten it recently. And this is a story I always bring up when I talk about psychedelics with other people. Is I always say like, dude, my friend Chris took acid for the first time in 11th grade PE class.
Of course he did.
And I was a grade below Chris. I was in 10th grade, and we had PE class together. And our PE teacher was this guy called Mr. Garcia, and he fucking all of our teachers hated us. Like, I think more teachers liked Chris because Chris is very likable. But I just had when I was in school, I had this super fuck school and fuck authority and fuck everyone. Like I fucking hated school so much. So like,
I know the kid you were.
So like all my teachers hated me and shit or whatever. Even though I wasn't a bad student, but like a lot of my teachers like really did not like me. And Mr. Garcia did not like either of us, and he used to call us Smokey 1 and Smokey 2, and he would always be like, "You guys are gonna be fuck ups in life. You guys are gonna do shit." Like he would talk so much shit to us. He would because at first he would catch us smoking and be like, "Come on guys, you shouldn't do that," blah blah. And then got to a point where he realized that like, oh, these guys are taking ecstasy and fucking smoking weed and jumping out of school. Like he realized we did not give a fuck, so he treated us like we did not give a fuck. Where he was just like, he's like, "Oh, like how's it going, guys? You guys get fucked up last night? Oh, you guys are gonna do shit this in your lifetime, blah blah." He would play along with the fact that we were fuck ups, and he would like kind of joke around, and be like, "Oh, you guys aren't gonna do shit with your life and be nobodies and stuff like that." And I just remember one day I come to school and Chris is like, "Dude, I bought acid," and he fucking had acid in this like foil paper, and I was like, "When are you gonna do it?" And he's like, "I'm gonna do it in on lunch." I think it was either lunch or nutrition, and right after that is PE, and it takes 30 to 40 minutes to kick in. So he takes it in the beginning of a fucking recess. It starts kicking in the middle of PE where we have PE together, and I remember he was like sitting on the floor going like. Like then I remember I was like standing next to him and he was like looking at his hands like tripping out, and then Mr. Garcia walks past both of us, right? Looks at me, looks at Chris, and sees Chris going like looking at his hands and just goes and just fucking keeps walking. and doesn't even say anything.
Nobody did that shit in my high school ever. Bro. Like that would never be a thing.
It's just so funny. Like he did not give a fuck at all. He like hated us.
It would be like fucking crazy news if people were smoking weed in our bathrooms.
Really?
Yes. Like
I think that people did it in your school and you just didn't know about it.
No. I know people did it in our school, but it'd be like in their park. I would see people like smoking across the street because there was like a neighborhood across the street that like people would walk to, which I used to live in. Mm-hmm. And I think they would smoke there or in their cars probably. But like if they were smoking in the bathroom, like that would be fucking talk of the town.
We would not smoke in the bathrooms
because there's only like so many bathrooms at our high school.
But that's dumb because like the bathroom hot boxes, and that's like you're trying to get caught or cause some sort of like notification that someone has smoked in here. We would go out of our way to go to areas of the places like school where we would not get caught smoking. And dude, oh my god, I remember my counselor, once you enter senior year, I'm not sure if you have the same thing for your school, but once you enter your senior year in Hollywood High School, you get a counselor, which a counselor is like some guy or girl you talk to once a week, and they're like trying to set you on track to graduate, and they like will like tell you what they basically are like kind of like I don't know like what to explain it, but like
they're just to keep you on track.
They keep you on track, and they try to help you like get like extra programs, and like try to like ask you like what are you planning on doing after school, because you can go do these classes, and they try to help you for after you leave high school or whatever.
They're like your guide.
Yeah, exactly. So my counselor was this guy called Mr. Alvaro, and guess what? Mr. Alvaro was my sister's counselor 7 years ago when they went to Hollywood High. So we had the same fucking counselor, and he would always be like, "Oh man, you're the twins brother." So he would always kind of like be super lenient on me. And I remember one time me and I forgot who, like me and one of my homies had bought some weed, and we went up to the top bleachers, and there was like there's like this section of my school, there's like 3-4 stories, and the very top is like these basketball courts and volleyball courts and this like physical like PE area, and we went up there to go smoke because no one like goes up there when there's like no class and shit. So we went up there to go smoke, but when you're smoking up there's all these windows that surround you, and like if anyone's walking down the hallway or like looks up at you, they can basically just see you chilling there. And we didn't really like even think about that, but Mr. Alvaro, I guess, fucking saw us through one of the windows. Then he comes up to the roof and like sees me and my homie chilling, smoking. And then he goes like, "Come on, Yuri." He's like, "You can't find a better spot, dude," or whatever. It was so funny, dude. Like they were just like they just knew.
Caught red-handed.
I got caught red-handed so many times. It was, yeah. That's what I'm saying. My teachers did not like me.
I actually do have another high school cool story, actually.
What'd you do?
But it's not about me.
Someone
Really.
in school?
No, my high school was on MTV.
For what?
There
True
was
Life?
No, there was this show, and it was only 1 season long, and it was
Oh.
called If You Really Knew Me.
I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah, it was 1 season.
Did it come out?
Yeah.
That one season came out?
Roman and my dad were featured in it. Like, they had...
You never told me about this.
I just remember this
Wha-
right
oh,
now.
wow,
I
we've
was
been
like, hearing your school, like, having 4 stories and shit. Like, my school was not as cool as that. My school looked whack as fuck.
We were literally just talking about how we have been together for a year, spent all these memories together, spent all this time together. You've never told me that your brother and your dad were on an MTV show and your high school was in it.
Yep.
Wow. What else have you not told me?
I just remembered it
What else are
right
you gonna just remember
now.
later on in life?
Because
One time I met up with Jason Momoa, and me and him.
I need to pee so bad. I'm so sorry.
One time, me and Jason Momoa and Christina Aguilera sipped lean. I fucking forgot about that.
What?
What a crazy random story.
Should we wrap it up?
Okay. Let's just wrap it up.
I'll
Right.
talk about the MTV story next.
Okay, we'll talk about the MTV story next
To be
episode.
continued.
Yo.
I really need to pee.
Okay, Riley's gonna go pee. I'll just wrap it up the
Good night.
episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna wrap it up now. I'm so sorry for having this be such a late episode for anyone that's watching this live, but we will be back on schedule next Sunday around 2 to 3 p.m. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is episode 9 of 10 Talks. Say hello to Luffy. Dude, I'm so faded. I was about to call him Lucky. So Luffy's just chilling. All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on this YouTube video. It really fucking helps this channel grow if you guys let YouTube know that people are actually engaging with this content because they think that, I don't know, some shit's happening. So if you guys could do that, that would really mean a lot. Shout out to every single person who tuned into the stream because I know it's super late. We're going to wrap it up right now and go to sleep. And I'll probably see you guys on stream later this week. So see you guys. Peace.